Jim Sullivan seemed like he was built for Hollywood myth. He was a tall ex-football player with a baritone twang, and in 1969 he cut a psychedelic folk album called UFO. 10 songs about desert highways, bright lights, and this underlying theme of leaving Earth behind. This wasn't totally out of left field for the era. To be fair, this was 1969, in July, the very same month that the moon landing occurred, and David Bowie's Space Oddity would become a national phenomenon. Everybody was obsessed with everything to do with space. Yet still, the record would flop, and it would become somewhat of a cult hit in the years following. Sullivan continued trying to make it in music for a while, even releasing a self-titled album in 1972. It was far less niche, but it still failed to make any waves in the industry. This is where the story starts to get weird. It's March 1975. Chasing a fresh start in Nashville, 35-year-old Sullivan waved goodbye to Los Angeles and steered his Volkswagen Beetle east. He drove all night, crossed 2 state lines, and the next afternoon he checked into La Mezza Motel in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. He bought a bottle of vodka, left the keys on the bedside table, and got in his car headed south toward the wide open countryside. 26 miles later, the little Beetle showed up at a remote ranch near Puerto de Luna. The matriarch of the Ganetti family, who owned the ranch, said that they encountered Jim, but failed to adequately communicate with him given their language barrier. According to the family, he walked off into the desert, and the next morning they discovered only his abandoned car. Inside were his guitar, clothes, wallet, papers, and even the unopened bottle of vodka. Outside there were no footprints and no tire tracks leading away. And search teams and bloodhounds never found out where he went. They searched for him, and months later they found a decomposing body nearby where he was last seen, but it was proven to not be him. Theories multiplied. Maybe local trouble trailed him. Maybe he wandered into the desert and succumbed to the heat of the sun, or the cold of night, or the wildlife. Fans fixated on spookier possibilities. That the man who sang about aliens calling him home somehow followed the script that he wrote. What endures, of course, is his music, and the 28 haunting minutes entitled UFO still feels like a missing persons flyer, stamped onto vinyl, forever asking, what happened to Jim Sullivan?